Welcome back to another episode of STVCastle Chess. This is episode number 20, titled It Takes a Team of Major Pieces. Let's begin. My opponent is kacpinsk. Hope I'm saying his name right. I'm just going to call him Kak for short. Let's get going. E4, C5, F4, D5. This is that Scandinavian uh, Sicilian hybrid opening that I talked about the other episode, but it clearly has its own name. E5, bishop to F5, knight F3, D4. I'm simply getting position here, guys. This is why I make this kind of move, acquiring more space in the center. Bishop C4, E6. And why I do that is because I've seen sometimes that my opponent, in any given game, he or she will simply capture that pawn on F7 in this case to check, to put me in check, which in and of itself could be okay for me because it's a free bishop, but sometimes it leads to more attacks from white, so that the L-shaped pattern move from the knight check, and then my opponent brings out other pieces. That's the danger of that. But that's why I play E6, D3, H6, castles, knight C6, H3, simply defending his knight. That's why Kak played that move. Queen C7, A3. I go ahead and queenside castle. Knight B to D2, bishop E7. Now the computer engine here on chesstempo.com labeled this as a mistake, suggested that I would play A6 instead. But the reason why I played bishop to E7 is that I wanted to get something going along the king side here, which is where Kak is with this king. You got to build something towards the king side, and that's why I played the bishop here to E7. Queen E2, G5. Now you see what I'm seeing. This pawn, the bishop. So you see what I'm stringing up together. F takes G5, H takes G5. Okay, you see how things are getting cleared up here on the H and G files here. I hope you're paying attention to that. Knight to E4, G4. I go ahead and attack the knight, and I think that was a wise thing for me to do because it basically asks Kak the question, what are you going to do about this pawn that just moved up to G4? You can't keep your knight in place there. You got to move it. In theory, you got to move it, right? But this is what Kak does. H takes G4. I take back with the bishop. Bishop takes pawn on G4. The knight is moved to D6 check, and that is called a blunder by the chess engine here. And this is why it is called a blunder. Bishop takes knight D6. Pawn takes bishop D6. And I simply go back and capture the pawn with my queen. Queen captures pawn D6. Queen to E4, attacking my bishop over there. I simply move my knight up to F6 to protect the bishop, but also because of the fact that my knight was clogging up alleyways here, you can't keep the knight back here on G8. Knowing what you know here about the king side, you can't keep the knight back here on G8. So it makes sense just to move it up here. Queen to F4, attacking that knight. E5, which attacks the queen, but it also protects my knight. Queen to G5, that's labeled a blunder by the engine, and this is why. Here's a tip I'm going to give you guys here. Do not keep moving your queen back and forth to places where it gets into harm's way. That's as simple as I can say it, guys, because look here. I have two rooks here on the king side. They're staring down the king right here. And here's the queen in danger. Just really no reason for this to happen. Just really no reason for this to happen. Queen to d2. Blunder. Bishop takes knight f3. Rook takes bishop f3. Could not take back with the pawn because it's pinned. My rook on g8 is covering this file right here. e4. And the reason why I do it is because I'm asking this rook the question, where are you going to move? Where are you going to go? Here's another blunder by the, called by the chess engine here. D takes e4. And I could simply take it back with the knight. It's easy for me to see. I can take it back with the knight, but I don't do that right away. And why is that? Because I see a clear shot here with my queen. Queen to h2, check. That forces Kak's king to move. And the best thing to do here in this situation is to move the king to f1. But that's not what Kak does. He doesn't see it. Instead, he goes to f2 with the king. And I'm pretty sure you guys can see what I'm seeing right now. Knight takes pawn, e4 check, and there's a fork. And this is why I said a few moves ago why you don't move the queen so much as to put it into such danger. That's really one good tip that I can share with you guys. And also, it does take a team of major pieces to get the job done, as you guys can clearly see here. I got a knight. I got the queen. I got two rooks here. I even have a knight over here waiting to do damage if he has to. You have to coordinate your pieces well enough together and not separately. That is one clear tip I can give you guys right now. Coordinate your pieces. It doesn't matter what kind of pieces you have. Even if all you have are knights and bishops and maybe one rook, just get them all together. They have to work as a team, as a complete unit. That's a clear tip I can give you guys. When you have pieces like this working well together, such as what I got here, I'm just going to highlight them again. It gets to be a winning formula. So this was an easy game for me to win. I'm not an expert by any means. I clearly want to make this note to you guys. I'm not an expert by any means. I'm still learning how to really play this game, even though I've played this game for like 2 decades off and on. And it is a better representation of me to play games over the board in person with real pieces, with a real board, and just play against real people. Because while online chess engines may try to help you out with certain things like suggestions and stuff like that, you got to play. You got to play in real life. And that's really one big thing that I can take away with my experiences playing chess. You got to get out there and play in person. That's all I can say. So, yeah, this has been STVCastle Chess, episode 20. I will be coming back more with more chess related content. Just got to space it out because I got to break the monotony ever so often with the other stuff that I do on this channel, STVCastle. So, yeah, hang tight. There'll be more chess content on the way. And I do have an announcement to make concerning STVCastle Chess and what I'm going to be doing in the future. I do have something interesting planned in the future for STVCastle Chess. So stay tuned for that announcement. This is Stephen Vitt reporting again. Take care, guys. Bye.